to my channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So today we are starting the first 64x64 for my save file. Actually, I've already done the one in the forest part of Windenburg, but I did it ages ago, but I really like that build, so I'm gonna include that one in the save file. But this is like the first 64x64 that I'm building dedicated to the save file, so hopefully that's exciting. I am really happy that I got this started because I still have the one in Del Valley to do. I have the other one in Windenburg to do as well, and I don't remember if there's anything else. There may be some 50x50s, one in Waste Springs or something, I think. I don't fully remember, but at least it's nice to get started on the 64x64 here in Brindleton Bay. I haven't built on this lot ever, so that was exciting too, and I actually really like how this lot looks. I like the surroundings and everything, so definitely gonna revisit this lot at some point again. But that is what we're doing today. So the house that I ended up building is actually inspired by 3 houses, 2 of which I think are from the real estate website, and I don't remember where the 3rd one is from. But basically I think I had to go downstairs or something to get something to drink or whatever, and I left a real estate website up on my computer, and when I came back to my computer, my boyfriend Craig was sitting here looking through the houses, and he was like, "You gotta build this house," and I was like, "Okay, I can do that," and it was huge and it looked kind of coastal, so I thought I would take inspiration from that house for this house. But it's kind of like a little bit like a mix of the 3 houses that I was talking about, and I've also changed them quite a lot. I've added a turret and I've changed the roofing, and it doesn't look at all like any of the 3 houses, but the point is it's inspired anyways. So yeah, hopefully you guys will like how this house turns out. We're only doing the exterior today and the landscaping, the backyard, and everything, basically everything on the exterior except from terraces. We're not furnishing those just yet. Those will be in the next video, and hopefully I could have part 2 up by Monday. I'm really hoping. My plan was to have it up tomorrow, but I just can't because I've been editing the footage for this for like 4 hours today, which is a little bit ridiculous, but there was a lot. It took me 6.5 hours, so that's a lot of footage to go through, and it took quite a long time to do, or maybe it took like 3.5 hours or something like that, so I don't think I have time to have the next part up by tomorrow, because I have a feeling the interior is going to take a little bit longer, to be honest, so the next video is probably going to be very long too. But hopefully you guys are okay with that. I know that some of you guys do appreciate longer videos, so hopefully you guys will like that one, or this one. I did have to cut a fair amount out. I think I've kept in most of the landscaping though, but like choosing color schemes and stuff like that, I've just cut a bit out here and then. Some of the very repetitive stuff, like putting down fencing, which gets super boring because it's just a fence. I probably cut that out too, but like I think I tried to keep in most of it, especially the landscaping, because I know that some of you guys as well really love seeing me put down plants. So I decided to keep most of that in the video, and yeah, other than that, just be aware of the fact that there's quite a lot of cuts in this video, but it's because there was so much footage and I just wanted to keep as much in as possible. Like I just wanted to show you guys as much as possible, so like small bits where I'm just moving stuff around and I go back and undo it, for example, I've cut that out, and yeah, hopefully it'll all make sense anyways. But I did ask you guys to leave some questions on my community tab just to make it a little bit easier to do this voiceover, because I knew that it was gonna be so long, because I finished it yesterday, like I said before, 6.5 hours of footage, so I knew that this voiceover was gonna take me ages to do if I didn't have like anything specific to talk about. I've never been good at talking about exteriors. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I tend to kind of like talk over exteriors a little bit because I don't know what there's to say. Like I'm putting down a square and then I'm putting some plants around, I'm laying down some rocks. It's not that interesting to talk about. At least with the interiors, you can talk about the Sims personalities and why you decided to decorate, you know, things or different rooms a certain way, but with exteriors it's just kind of like I'm putting down a piece of roofing. putting down another box. Oh, let's put a fence here, you know? So never really been good at talking about exteriors. So I'm very, very thankful that a lot of you guys actually asked questions. There's quite a lot to go through, so it's gonna make it a little bit easier to do this voiceover. So thank you so much for that. But before we get too into the questions, I do want to say that, like I said before, part 2 should hopefully be up by Monday, and that means the build itself will also be up on the gallery Monday, because as of right now I haven't done any interior whatsoever. I haven't even done the floor plan. There's probably going to be a lot of bedrooms though, so if you got any specific kind of sim personality you want me to decorate for, do let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe that'll help like not make all the rooms super generic, because when it comes to decorating, for example, teen rooms or children rooms, I kind of tend to go for the more generic personalities, like loves animals or a gamer teen or, you know, something like that. So do let me know if there's any specific kind of personality you want me to try and decorate a room for. That would be a lot of fun, so yeah, do let me know. And other than that, I am really hoping to have time to decorate an apartment for tomorrow, because usually I release apartments on Sundays, and I have an idea that's been requested quite a lot lately, so I figured it would be about time that I do it. So I'm really hoping that I have time for that tonight after this is done rendering. Knowing my computer, this is probably going to take like 1.5 hours to render or something like that, so that's going to be great. And I can't record at the same time because rendering takes up a lot of CPU, and recording at the same time just makes it all very laggy and also makes the rendering process a lot longer. So I will have to just sit and wait and possibly play Pokemon on my Switch or something, which is actually going to be really cozy. But that said, I do hope I have time to decorate that apartment tonight. I'm sorry my voice seems a little bit messed up. I don't know what that's about, but let's just ignore that and get started with the questions. So the first questions are from Mary Tim, and the very first one is, what is something small you want added and taken away from The Sims 4? So I don't know if they improved it, but I remember, because I don't have a lot of time to actually play the game these days, I usually just record for videos, actually, like build a lot and record that basically, so I don't have a lot of time to sit down and actually play the game. But I remember the last time I played the game, my Sims would constantly go out to take a glass of water, and that was really freaking annoying. So if there's anything I want taken away from the game, it's definitely that. Like, I know that Sims, or humans at least, need water now and then, but like continuously going out to take a glass of water is a little bit annoying. It's kind of disrupting the gameplay just a little bit, so if there's anything, I would want that to be taken away. And maybe like the fruitcake, or actually no, Welcome Wagon is kind of cozy, so it's nice to meet your neighbors in that way. Plus I feel like that's been around for a long time too, like it's a Sims thing, you can't just remove that from the game, but like the fruitcake is a little bit weird, I will admit to that. But yeah, anyways, and something small I want added. I want Sims to be able to watch TV while lying down in bed. That would be great, because that's realistic. A lot of people have TVs in their bedroom. Well, not a lot of people. Some people have TVs in their bedrooms, and also just like creating a dorm room or a small apartment where they wouldn't necessarily have room for a living room. It would be nice to be able to just have your Sim lying down, or at least sitting on the bed, like not necessarily lying down, but like sitting on the bed and watch TV. That would be great. Maybe some cuddle interactions in the bed as well would be great for couples, but I don't know, one can hope that that'll happen one day, but that's definitely something I want added to the game. Mary also asks, what's your favorite and least favorite townie? So I've talked about this before in my Q&A the last time. When was that? My 30k subscriber special, I think. But my favorite townies are kind of like a tie between Penny and also, I kind of like Dawn too, I'm not gonna lie. I like Dawn too. I also really like Miko. Ooh, and I love Vanessa. She's also one of my new favorites. She's just adorable. I freaking love her. As for my least favorite townies, I don't like Nancy. I don't know what it is. She rubs me the wrong way. I just don't like her. I get annoyed every time I see her walking down the street, which is a little bit, you know, a little bit aggressive, but I don't know, it's just her face. I don't like it. And Mary's last question is, if you could dye your hair any color, what would it be? So In case you don't know, I am ginger, so I have red hair, and it's a little bit of a special hair color. I think I've seen maybe like one other person ever have the same hair color as me, which was very weird. Actually, I think my hair color is pretty close to Ed Sheeran's, if I'm not mistaken. But my mom would kill me if I ever dyed my hair, so it's not gonna happen. She would be very disappointed, and I don't want to disappoint my mom. So it's never gonna happen. I remember when I was younger though, I wanted to dye my hair black. For whatever reason, I thought that would look great on me. I don't think it would now, but you know, a little bit delusional as a kid, I guess. But nowadays, I was actually, because I read this question yesterday, so I went in front of the mirror and looked at myself like, what kind of hair color would actually fit you? And I don't know, I feel like maybe some kind of like lighter kind of purple maybe, because I have green eyes, so that would look good together, but I'm not entirely sure. So I don't know, maybe it would be like a sort of like a paler kind of purple, like lavender-ish purple, or maybe that would like maybe look too pale. So many different opportunities. Like, how can you make up your mind when it comes to hair colors, you know? But yeah, I think some kind of purple at least would be funky. And then Patricia, I'm sorry I can't pronounce your last name, Allegria or something, asks best game expansion pack for gameplay and build mode. So as for the expansion pack, I would 100% definitely have to say Seasons. I mean, I love cats and dogs obviously too, because I love cats and dogs, especially dogs. And I also really love the furniture in it. I love Brindleton Bay. But Seasons, even though it didn't come with a new world, it affects every other world, and just the changing seasons is so essential to a Sims game. Like, I can't even imagine the game without seasons by now, because we've had it for 7 months or something by now, so it's just, yeah, it's essential to the game, you know, it just adds so much. You also got the calendar, there's a lot of family gameplay included in it as well, plus I personally also really love the furniture we got with it. We got the more like country-esque, sort of rustic style, but we also got the more modern contemporary kind of Scandinavian style actually, which I'm a really big fan of that too, so I would definitely have to say Seasons for my favorite expansion pack, at least like gameplay and build mode wise, although I also love cats and dogs quite a lot, but Seasons adds it adds so much. And then as for game pack, I would have to say Parenthood, because I like to play with families when I do play the game. I just like to play out their lives, I like to grow the family, I like to see the generations, you know, move on, or the family move on through generations, hopefully, you know what I mean? That's just my gameplay style, so Parenthood fits my style better, and I also really like the furniture we got with that pack. There's a lot of like nice stuff for teen rooms and even kids rooms, and I don't know, it's just very cozy and family-like, and I'm a big fan of that, so I will have to say my favorite game pack is Parenthood. And then it's JJ Babs. I've seen questions from you before. Anyways, also asks 4 questions, and the first one is, what is your favorite style to build with? And it can't be Scandinavian. I think my favorite build style is either Tudor or Craftsman. I just really like those houses, especially with Tudor. You can go a little crazy with the house shape, because it doesn't really matter, we're playing a game, so it's fun to make it a little bit unrealistic, you know, so definitely one of those 2 styles. Although I also really like just a traditional suburban house is quite funky too. Plus I like these houses as well that you built in Brindleton Bay with a gambrel roofing. I like doing that too, so you can experiment a little bit with the roofing as well, plus add turrets too. I don't know, I don't have a favorite style, I just like to build everything apparently. No, I think my favorite would have to be either Craftsman or Tudor houses, I think. They also ask, what was your grades like in school? So our school system is a little bit different from a lot of other countries. You go to the same school for 10 years, that's elementary school, and then you move on to the next one, which is usually gymnasium, and it'll be about 3 years. Some people have 2, some people have 4, but for me it was 3. So through elementary school for the first like 6-7 years I was doing really good. I was by 5th year I was like doing 10th year 10th year math, for example, which is a little bit ridiculous. I was several years ahead in English too, but then the teachers told me to kind of like chill a little bit, and then I started slacking and I got lazy and my grades fell, and by the end of school by the end of Gymnasium 2, they were just kind of average, so I could definitely have done better if I hadn't slacked so much. But I did, and they were pretty average. They also ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like playing Sims? 1 is the worst and 10 is the best. I don't, like I said before, I don't actually play the game. I mean, I know there's several different ways to play the game. Like, you can build, you can also make Sims, you can also, like, you know, play dress up in CAS, make Sims like that. But you can also actually play the game. I suppose you mean playing the game, and I don't really do that, so I don't know how to answer that question. But I would love to do that more, though. I do love building. On a scale of 1 to 10, I definitely a solid 10, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it this much. But as for gameplay, I don't really know. And their last question is, what Sims game did you start on? And I started playing Sims with Sims 1, so I am a veteran Sims player, basically. And yes, that is an old game by now, but oh my god, I loved it so much. I had so much fun with Sims 1. Trinity, and I'm sorry, but I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Sinaiko, I'm not sure. I'm gonna be butchering a lot of names throughout this video, by the way, so I apologize beforehand. But they ask, is this your full-time job? And if so, do people judge you for it? It's not, no, it's not my full-time job. It's more like a part-time job, but I don't really see it as a job because I love doing it. And I don't know, but I do count, like, I do prioritize it when I don't get translation jobs, because my actual job is I'm a translator. So when I don't get translation jobs, I do YouTube videos instead. So you guys know when I don't get a lot of work, there'll be a lot of videos up on the channel, and as of lately I haven't been getting a lot of work, so this has felt more like my actual job than translating has. But I don't really feel like it's a job because I just love making videos, to be honest. And I don't think anybody's judging me for it. I think my boyfriend may have thought it was a little bit weird for a while, but I don't think he judges me for it anymore. And my mom is surprisingly supportive, which is amazing, and my sister too, actually. Not a lot of my family knows. My dad is very impartial, is that how you say it? He doesn't really, it's whatever, you know, as long as I can live, it's fine. I haven't met anyone who's judged me for it, to be honest, so no. That said though, I haven't shared with a lot of my other family members, like cousins or aunts or uncles or whatever, or even like just on Facebook or something. I haven't shared that I make videos on YouTube or that I make part of my living off of making videos on YouTube, because I'm not ready for it yet in case that someone does judge me. So once it feels a little bit more serious, maybe I will be up for sharing it, but as of right now, I am not, in case anybody wants to judge me. But yeah, those that know definitely do not judge me one bit, which is amazing. Actually, they're quite supportive of me, so that is really, really nice. Chassis Sims asks, do you have any tattoos? And no, I don't. I wanted to get what's it called? A G key in Danish. What's it called? A treble? I'm not entirely sure. One of those musical symbols. I'm sorry, I don't know what it's called in English, but it's called a G key in Danish, so look it up or something. I don't know. I wanted to get one of those tattooed on my foot, my ankle. When I was younger, but I don't want it anymore. I feel like I would feel weird having something painted on my skin at all times now, so it's not me anymore. That said, I have had a nose piercing that I regret taking out. I don't know why I did. It was stupid. It was a stupid decision. And I also have 3 holes in one ear and 2 in the other, and I really want more. The only thing that's holding me back is it's really annoying to wear headphones with new piercings. It just it hurts a little bit, so that's kind of holding me back when it comes to that, but I'll get it done one day. I will get it done one day. Like, I want more piercings in my ears, basically, but no tattoos, no. Fresh Family asks, what's your favorite build you've ever done, and what is your least favorite? So my favorite build I've ever done is actually the Tudor mansion that I was talking about earlier, the 64x64 in Windenburg in the forest area. It's called Hillside Tudor Mansion, I think, here on YouTube. And I spent so long on it. I think I spent, if I recall correctly, either 14 or 16 hours on it total. and I really like how it turned out. I was so proud of it. There's a waterfall in the build. I mean, it's built on a hill, and it's before we got, what's it called, terrain tools as well, so I had to improvise with that, and I really like how that build turned out, so definitely go check that out. As for my least favorite build, it would have to be the very first build that I put here on YouTube, which is a starter house. I don't like starter houses as it is. I wasn't a builder back then. I was a sim maker. I was not a builder at all, like, trust me. And it was a starter house. I said that it was for my 100 baby challenge. It's called Sunshine Starter House, I think, and it's still here on YouTube. It's horrible. There's probably a voiceover for it. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, because don't go watch it. It's so cringeworthy. But that said, I definitely think that that's my least favorite house I have ever built. Then Abby R asks, how long does it typically take for the entire process of filming, editing, doing voiceovers, and uploading builds? And I'm actually really happy that you asked this question, because I feel like there's a common misconception that making videos on YouTube or for YouTube is just recording and then you upload, and it's super easy and super fast to do, and trust me, it's really not. And by the way, I just want to point out, I'm not sitting here complaining about it, because if I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't. Basically, I'm the type of person that if I don't want to do something, I don't do it. But basically, for example, for this house, I already told you guys that I had about 6.5 hours of footage, but that's just recording. That's not me sitting here trying to plan things out while recording. It's not including small breaks. Just look at the others, like my other monitor. I pause when I do that too. So overall, I've been sitting here recording this house for possibly like 8.5, 9 hours. And then I also had to edit today, which took me about 3.5 to 4 hours too. And then there was taking pictures, which takes about 30 minutes for me, and then making a thumbnail and editing the pictures, that's another 30 minutes. Then we got doing voiceover, which is what I'm doing right now. For me personally, I have to do a lot of retakes because I mess up a lot when I do voiceovers. English is not my first language, and I don't like leaving mistakes in because it'll annoy me a lot. It'll annoy me, so I cut it out and then I redo it. And for a 30-minute voiceover, it'll typically take me about an hour to 1.5 hours. Sometimes it'll even take me 2 hours, depending on the day. And then after that, you have to add music and fix the pictures and fix that all together, and that's another maybe like 40 minutes. Then you have to render, which is for a 30-minute video, because of my computer, it takes about an hour. And then there's uploading, which also depends on your internet, which for me takes about, these days, for whatever reason, it could easily take like 1.5 hours because the internet is just acting weird. Usually it would take me like an hour maybe for a 30-minute video. And then there's fixing the description and tweeting it out on Twitter and all that stuff, but that doesn't matter. So you can probably hear like it's a lot of hours. So for this video, it's probably taking me about 17 to 19 hours to do it all so far, and then we still got a part 2 to do as well. So there's a lot of time going into making videos. I love every single moment of it though, so don't worry about that. But I actually like that you asked that question because it's not a question that you get very often. But maybe this is also a bit of an extreme example because it is a very long video. Shorter videos of course take a lot shorter time to do, like cast videos can easily take like 4 hours total. So that's a quick video to get up, but builds definitely take a long time, especially longer builds. So yeah. Kylie asks, how long have you and your boyfriend been dating? And I think technically we've been dating for 2 years and 4 or 5 months or something like that, but we put our anniversary on the 1st because you know, neither of us really knew, so it's on the 1st. So technically 2 years and 4 to 5 months, but according to our anniversary, 2 years and 1.5 months. I love Zachary Dean Heron, who I don't know who is by the way, but I'm definitely gonna have to figure that out now, asks, how do you come up with house ideas and how do you make the outsides not look plain, like the walls and stuff? So house ideas, I look on Pinterest a lot, I look on Google, I look on real estate websites, and that's about it. Like, I just look at a lot of houses, to be honest. I like looking at houses. I like fantasizing about houses. I just really like looking at houses, to be honest. So that's where I get my ideas. And I don't know, other than that, it's just like playing around with shapes. Like, because I don't personally like just recreating houses, so I like to add stuff to them or move stuff around, or, you know, just like play around with the shape a little bit. And I don't know where the ideas for that come from. I just do. It's just kind of whatever I feel like looks good on the right side of the house, I'll edit. I don't know how to explain it. This is not helping at all, but house ideas, definitely look on Pinterest or Google or real estate websites. It helps quite a lot. And then how to not make the outsides look plain. Play around with different textures for wallpaper. So you have like a plain paint wallpaper, and then you're playing with some wooden panels as well. I like to play with these shingles from Cats and Dogs. I've used 2 different shingles for this house, for example, so that's already 2 different textures. And I think different textured wallpapers on the exteriors just adds a lot more life. Like, yeah, it adds a lot more details, so that helps a lot with that. Definitely think that's a big part of it, I think. Also, thank you for not thinking my houses look plain, by the way. Gracie Takanashi asks, what's your favorite food in the whole world? And I don't really know, because it depends a little bit on my mood and what I'm feeling for the day, because I do love lasagna quite a lot, but sometimes I'm not really feeling lasagna. But yeah, I don't know, lasagna is a big hit with me. Pizza, obviously. I love sushi as well, and I don't know, if cheesecake counts as food, I will have to say cheesecake, because cheesecake never fails. Unless it's a bad cheesecake, then I don't like it, but like good cheesecake, I will always say yes to a slice of good cheesecake. Trust me. Trust me. Katie Steinmark, you're Danish, right? Steinmark, asks, when did you first start playing Sims, and have you always been a builder? So like I said earlier, I started playing Sims when Sims 1 came out. I think it was shortly after release actually, but I'm not entirely sure about that one. It had to come out in Denmark too, so keep that in mind before I got to play it. But Sims 1, definitely Sims 1. And then have I always been a builder? No, I have not always been a builder. I think I started taking building seriously around 1 year and maybe like 3-4 months ago or something, so that's as long as I've been counting myself a builder basically. So yeah, but definitely was not always a builder, no. And then Olive257 asks, have you ever considered dyeing your hair? And like I said earlier, I did consider it when I was a kid. I really wanted black hair. Don't ask me why, like I don't know. It does not fit me at all. But yes, I have considered dyeing my hair. It'll never happen though. And she also says, no hate whatsoever. I absolutely love your hair. It's so pretty. Thank you so much. Nia Bear, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right, but they ask, what's your favorite building lot in The Sims 4? There is one in Willow Creek that I use over and over and over, and it's in the most northern part of Willow Creek, and it's the lot to the left, I think. I'm pretty sure it's the one to the left. It's a 40 by 30, and the light is just perfect on that lot. The only thing is, there's a very annoying lamppost, or tree, no, it's a tree. There's a very annoying tree right out in front of the lot, so that's a little bit of an issue, but I love that lot otherwise. Everything about that lot is perfect. I love the background, I love the lighting, so I just wish that tree would disappear a little bit, but that would be my favorite lot. I think I have built on that quite a lot of times. Gabor Rainitz, and I know I'm pronouncing your name totally wrong, by the way, I'm so sorry. But they ask, what's your favorite Sims 4 expansion pack, game pack, and also stuff pack? I already said my favorite expansion pack is Seasons or Cats and Dogs, and my favorite game pack is Parenthood. As for stuff pack, I really like Laundry Day. The only thing is ironically, I don't like the laundry part of it. I just really love the furniture. And yeah, I would have to say that one, I think. Although I also really like Backyard Stuff Pack. I use that stuff quite a lot, and also Cool Kitchen Stuff Pack. I use that stuff pack surprisingly much when cluttering up kitchens, for example, so I think that one is quite essential to my builds these days. But I think I would have to go with Laundry Day, yeah. Golden Chick 85 asks, how many siblings do you have, and are they older or younger? I have 3 siblings total, so I have one little brother who is 2.5 years younger than me, and then I have 2 sisters. One is 7 years older, and the other one is 10 years older. Elika Cedergren, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right, asks, do you have any building advice to build as beautiful houses as you do? Thank you so much for thinking my houses are beautiful, by the way. way. I don't know what kind of advice I can give you right now here in the moment, other than just trying to experiment a lot, like try different shapes, try different wallpapers, try to mix and match your windows as well. That adds a lot of funky touches to a build too. Add some turrets. Turrets always help. But I don't fully know, like, other than experimenting a lot, just try your way. Like, it's all about trial and error basically. So that's the advice I could give you right now in the moment. I do want to do like a kind of like a tutorial video with tips and tricks that I do when building, but I need time to do it first, and builds take a lot of time to do. Build videos, we've already talked about this too, so it's a little bit difficult for me to find time to do a video like that, but it is on my to-do list, so definitely keep an eye out for that if you are interested, and I'm really gonna try to do it someday, trust me. So yeah. Becca Sims asks, do you prefer to build apartments, houses, or community lots? I think houses or apartments depending on my mood, mostly houses, although these days I really like doing apartments. They also asks, if you could change one thing about the Sims community, what would it be? I hope I'm not getting a lot of hate for saying this, but there's a lot of self-entitlement in the Sims community. I think that people expect The Sims 4 to be too much like Sims 3, for example, and they're expecting us to get content like constantly, and I think that has to change. That's a little bit negative when it comes to the community, and I don't like it. It's too much drama for my old self. So I think I'd like for that to change. They also ask, what's your favorite movie? And I don't think I have like one specific favorite movie. It depends a little bit on my mood, but I love The Lion King, the original, the first one of them. I love it so much. It made me cry as a kid, and I really love it. I love the music, I love the story, I love everything about it. And I also like the first couple of Halloween movies. Don't ask, me and my sister are strange people and we just like them for whatever reason. I also really like Mean Girls and can probably quote the entire movie, so that one is also on my favorite list, but I don't know if I have like one specific movie like I said before, so it would have to be one of those or just all of them basically. And their last question is, what's your favorite thing about The Sims? And as of right now, it's definitely building. I just love how de-stressing it is for me. It's very relaxing. It's also my creative outlet, so I kind of need it a little bit. But I really love building as of right now, so yeah. I cannot pronounce your name. Meiji, Villian, I'm so sorry, but I don't know how to pronounce your first name, asks, I'm going on an exchange to Denmark close to Copenhagen this summer, and I was wondering if you had any tips or stuff I definitely should know about Danish culture and Danish people. Could be anything. By the way, I probably wouldn't have chosen Denmark if it wasn't for you. That's kind of cute actually, so I'm a little bit honored. But Danish culture and Danish people. So one thing I can say about Danish people is that, at least where I'm from, people tend to kind of not greet each other on the street, but it's not because they're not friendly, it's just because people don't look at each other when walking on the street. We're just kind of, I don't know how to like explain it, but we just don't. But if you need help and walk up to a person and ask them, they're gonna be super friendly. The Danish people is very open, it's very tolerant, I would say, at least in my experience where I'm from again. It could be different in other parts of Denmark, I don't know. I've only lived in Aarhus, so I don't know. But I definitely feel like the people that I know are very open and just very tolerant and not judgmental, so it's a very nice folk. As for culture, we're probably a very generic kind of Western European country. I think the only thing that stands out when it comes to Denmark is our need for hygge, which is this kind of like cozy feeling, or I don't know how to explain it. It's just like relaxing, feeling cozy with family or friends. You're out having a beer with a couple of your friends, you're playing board games with your family, maybe you're even just watching TV by yourself wrapped up in a blanket, or I don't know, something like that. So you're definitely going to experience some of that, I think, because it's very important. In my experience, at least, it's very important to our culture. So yeah, you'll probably experience some of that. But other than that, we're just very open, friendly folk, in my opinion at least, from what I've experienced. So yeah. Michaela Holly asks, what's your favorite thing about living in Scotland? And At the risk of sounding super cheesy, I'm gonna have to say my boyfriend right now because I don't really go outside much, so I don't experience, you know, Scotland a lot right now because I work from home. There's not much reason to go outside. I'm not complaining about it, by the way. I don't really mind. But yeah, I would definitely have to say either him. I do appreciate the Scottish humor quite a lot though, like it's hilarious, so that's definitely one good thing. But I don't go outside enough to like experience culture and stuff right now, so sorry about that. They also ask, what advice would you give a beginning YouTuber? And I personally wish someone had told me to just get started, because I'd been wanting to be a YouTuber for a while before I got started, so definitely don't wait for tomorrow, just start today, basically. I think that's a pretty good advice, just get started. And make sure that you make videos that you enjoy, because that's what's gonna, like, as long as you enjoy, your personality is showing, and that's what's gonna make you stand out compared to other YouTubers. So definitely that would be my best advice, like make videos that you enjoy and also get started like right now. Chewy and the Porks asks, Porks, that sounds like I said pork. Porks asks, what do you think about the world of Del Sol Valley? I think it's a little bit too, it's not too small, but well, actually when you're inside the world, it does feel a little bit too small. There are too few lots on it, but I totally understand why it's like that, but I wish the world was a little bit bigger. I do like it though, I think it's very pretty. Menon C asks, can you say something in Danish, and would you consider doing a full voiceover in Danish with subtitles? Hej, jeg hedder Rosa, og jeg håber du har en fantastisk god dag i dag. So basically I said, hi, my name is Rosa and I hope you're having an amazing day. But as for the voiceover in Danish, I've been asked the same question before and the answer is still no, because only about 1.6 of my viewers are from Denmark, so I don't think it would be fair towards everyone else that didn't understand it, even though there is subtitles. I just personally don't like watching videos with subtitles, so I don't see why others would, basically. So no, unfortunately not. Then Ocean Sims, we love Ocean by the way, she is super nice and just really, really awesome, asks, what are your favorite type of builds to do, and also how long have you been building? So my favorite type of builds to do, like I said earlier, are Tudor houses and craftsman houses. I just really like them. I actually also really like cottages, which I didn't mention before, but those are pretty cute too. And then how long have I been building? I was building for a while before I took it seriously, so I've been building for a little longer than a year and 3-4 months, but I haven't been taking it seriously. Like I wasn't taking it seriously, which is kind of like, oh whatever, let's put a square down. But I've been taking it seriously for about, like, been wanting to improve constantly for about a year and 3 to 4 months, I think. So yeah, sorry, but I don't have time to do more questions. I will save them for the next part of this build, so if you got any more questions for me that you want me to answer, go over to the community tab and write them there, and I will make sure to answer them in the next part on Monday. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video despite me not talking too much about the build or at all. I hope it was okay anyways. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye! All the fun we used to have, even though I'm better and time has passed. Now I wonder where your mind's at. In my dreams I pick you up, I just wanna make it right. I know all about your troubles, wanna drown into your eyes and feel your blue sky within. So deep in you, I'm blinded by your bittersweet shine. But get what you need, I'll make you feel free. Be mine tonight and feel your blue sky within. Do you think of me when you're on your way home?
my dreams I pick you up. I just wanna make it right. I know all about your troubles. Wanna drown into your eyes and feel your